Hey, my name is Casey Martin. I am with the Communications Department here at Surry-Yadkin Electric, and today we have Mr. Sheldon Howlett with us. He is our safety coordinator here, and we're going to talk to you about how to maintain some safety measures as a member and within your home and with our linemen too when they're out on jobs. So Sheldon, with this display, do you mind going through some of the different equipment that we have up here, what the purpose of this is, and how you use this to teach people different safety measures?
Sure. So Casey, what we have here, and for you guys watching, this is a simulation of what you would see at your home or out in the public. We have an overhead power line, we have a residence, we have vehicles, we have the line crew set up. A simulation of a electrical dig-in with a construction crew with a piece of equipment and an individual actually putting up a fence around their property. So the purpose of this is to kind of teach you guys what to expect or what to be aware of in case of down power lines or vehicle accidents that may run into a piece of electrical equipment, and that will involve what we call step touch potential. So step touch potential, to not get too involved in it, that's going to be you touching a piece of equipment that may be energized and you become the path to ground.
And what's this right here?
So the green box that you pointed to right here, this would be a what we call a pad mount transformer. It converts a high voltage into low voltage for the home residents.
Now I've seen a lot of these in different yards, different homes. I've also seen a lot of people who try to maybe hide those. Is there like a danger involved with people doing that? Yes, there is, because one, we want to make them visible for the purpose of, you know, not backing into them with a vehicle or a piece of equipment. Two, we got to look after the safety of our people, the line utility workers, so that they can have easy access to it. And what happens a lot of times, if you have too much foliage or if you plant stuff, you're going to be doing digging around it, and that could lead into a hazardous situation where you may actually come into contact with the underground power cable. Can you show us an example now of some of the things that you were talking about?
Okay, sure. So what I'm going to do before I energize the simulated board, I'm going to put on my high voltage gloves. These are just as the same ones that the linemen use out on the line. And with me today, I have Patrick Frazier. He's one of our line crew foremen, one of our senior linemen here at Surry-Yadkin Electric. And he's going to put on and show you guys, this is the PPE that they would use out in the field. These are almost 100% rubber. They're tested at 20,000 volts, rated for 17,000. So these are his sleeves, these are his rubber gloves. So Patrick, if you'll put those on, and these guys have to wear these in the hot heat while working up in a bucket, or before they even ascend a pole, whether they're climbing it or before they leave the ground in the bucket. This has to be worn, whether it's through the high voltage here or at the meter at the back of your house. And this is just to protect them guys from having that step touch potential that we talked about, and keeping them from becoming that path to ground. And we have a certified testing facility that tests our rubber or their rubber PPE every 30 days.
Can you remind us what PPE stands for?
So PPE, I know a lot of us have heard that over the past 18 months, is personal protective equipment. So what you're, you know, the guys just don't have the rubber as their PPE or their personal protective equipment. They've got hard hats, which are electrically rated. They've got safety glasses. They have to wear safety boots that are EH or electrical hazard rated. And their clothing has to be FR rated, which means it's a fire retardant clothes. Okay,
so when you're doing the demos, you have to put your gloves on too, right?
That's right. So I'm going to go ahead and put my gloves on, and we're going to energize the board. Okay. And then we'll go through a couple simulations about some step touch potentials and the hazards. Okay. All right. So let's see. see if we can get it hot. Should be a light on at the house. So what I usually do, and this is always pretty common. Let's say we got an older brother or older sibling just got their license. I hate picking on them because they're a beginner. Let's say they're at the home and they back into the pad mount transformer in Dad's new Jeep. So as you can see, if they hit it hard enough, it can cause the Jeep to become energized. Let's say Mom or somebody was coming out to help, and I don't know if you can see the arc, but the Jeep, as you can tell, can become energized, and then as you're coming out, you can become that path to ground. So that's just one example.
So if there is a person in the vehicle, obviously, and they need to get out,
Yep.
what's the safest way for them to get out of the vehicle?
What we try to urge them to do, stay in the vehicle unless you have no other choice. Stay in the vehicle until either a utility worker or a first responder comes and tells you it's safe to get out. If you have to get out, let's say the vehicle is on fire and you have to get out, that's when we teach them about how to jump, clear the vehicle without touching it. We try to convey the shuffle method, the heel to toe. So what you're going to do, you're just going to shuffle your feet, heel to toe, left or right, whichever way you start. Never getting much further than that until you get a good 50 foot away.
Okay. Do you have more demos that you can show us?
Yeah, so we've got an underground construction crew over here, and this is a good segue to pitch about 811. So we promote 811, and 811 is a free service for anybody out there. It doesn't cost anything. And what you do, you'll call 811. You'll get a locate. If you know you're going to do a digging, do any digging on your property, and I mean any digging. If you're just digging to plant plants or plant a tree or whatever, it's a free service. Call them. If even if you don't know if you got underground cables or not, there may be underground cables there you're not aware of. So call them. It takes up to 3 days. They should come out and locate. And what they encourage also, they encourage that if you'll mark the area where you're going to dig with white paint, that gives them a better indication where to do the locates. And then that's for your safety and for for the utility, to help them out too. So we've got an individual who obviously has been putting up a fence. It looks like he's getting ready to plant a tree maybe. So if he's coming over, and let's say, so you can see how it can draw, and he can become energized at any time through that dig in. So electricity has went through the shovel because he's hit a underground energized cable. It's came through the shovel into him, into this individual. It's trying to find that path to ground. So he's become that path to ground. So what it's going to do, we can't hear it, we can't always see it, and it's going to do internal damage as it's going through your body. So right over here we've got a crew that's digging in. Let's say he's already caught the cable and he's pulling it up. And then, let's see. All right, so he's caught the cable and he's pulling it up. And this guy was either going over, he can't hear it, he's going over to try to help him. And then as soon as he gets to the vehicle, he's become that path to ground. And then as you can see, it's going to energize the vehicle. You're going to hear a lot of that. You may not hear a lot of that. You may see the tires catch on fire or whatever. So we try to put information out to like our farmers. We have a lot of farmers on our system. And we try to put that information out to them about, look up and live, call before you dig, those messages out there. So that kind of covers step touch potential. So what we've got here, we got an overhead line, and you know, it's getting to be storm season, and this would be a good time to bring the tree in. Let's say the power lines, wind's been blowing, we've got a tree that's really close to it, but maybe not in it. And you come over to the tree, or an individual comes over to the tree, we may see an arc right away. So you may see or hear that. You may be walking over to that, or you may not hear it, but you can become that path to ground. The only thing left to really talk about is a down power line in the event that, let's say, a tree broke the line down, it fell on the power line and fell down, or a car may have hit it 2 poles down, and then it may, the domino effect, it may tear or tear down several spans of wire. And then you may come out, it may be on your metal carport building, it may be on the parked car in the driveway. So let's say he got his boom too high, or he bumped the pole, and when he bumped it, he put stress on the wire broke, fell on the boom of his tractor. He sees the wire down, but he wants to get out. Or let's say he's got a helper over here to the side, and he's going to come check on him and see if he's all right. Well, as you can tell, as soon as he comes over, he becomes that path to ground. And that may, depending on we do have equipment set in place that's supposed to de-energize it, but it's man-made, just like anything else. You know, you don't want to put a lot of trust in that. Equipment will fail you sometimes, so you don't want to put all your trust into that. But we do go through extreme measures, and these guys work really hard maintaining and updating all this equipment to make it as safe as possible for our members.